Okay, so I thought I would make a sweet snack as something different. My intention is to make it for the children, my two boys, to take to school in their lunchbox. It's kind of like a muesli bar. It's actually my son's recipe, so he's at high school and he's been doing home economics, and for part of his assessment they needed to make a fruit and oat bar. So once he made this and brought it home, I've got the recipe and we just make it all the time now. And yeah, we've added a few. It's supposed to be a healthy one, but we do add other things to it, like chocolate chips, other different bits of fruit, and we tried it with golden syrup rather than honey, but the original recipe is just fantastic. So I'm going to be doing the original recipe today, apart from one extra thing, which is these glacé cherries, which are just my absolute favourite. So he made half the amount that I'm going to make, so I'll be doubling the recipe. So the recipe is called Fruit and Oat Bars, and the first thing that you need is 1 cup of self-raising flour. I'm going to be doubling it, so I'm going to do 2 cups of self-raising flour. I'm just going to put all the dry things in a bowl together. 2 cups. And the same for rolled oats. I haven't got rolled oats, I'm using quick oats, pretty much the same thing. So I'm going to do 2 cups of quick oats, 1 cup of coconut desiccated, so I'm going to do 2 cups. Half a cup of white sugar, and so I'll do 1 cup. Teaspoon of cinnamon, so I'll do 2 teaspoons. Let's have a look. Half a cup of dried cranberries. I've got roughly about a cup there, so just shove them in. Yeah. And then we need the wet ingredients. So before I do that, I'm just going to put these glacé cherries in. So I've got about, how many? 2, 4, 6, 8, 10 glacé cherries there. I'm just going to halve them. You could put currants, you could put raisins, sultanas, dates, nuts, anything in these bars. In fact, if you do try any variants, let me know in the comments. The thing I like to do before I put these in, just give this mixture a mix. This is just all the dry stuff, because if I just plonked that into the dry mixture, it was kind of just all clumped together, and you kind of want these to be spread out. So so there we have our dried mixture. Now we need 2 eggs, which I've just cracked in there, 250 grams of butter, I've just got soft margarine, and then 2 tablespoons of honey. And okay, so I need to melt the butter first, so I'm going to pop this in the microwave until it's melted. Okay, so I think this is melted enough. I just did that for just under 30 seconds in the microwave. So we have the 250 grams of melted butter, and then to this I need to add, how many tablespoons? 4 tablespoons of honey. So I've just got some pure honey. 1. Okay, so it says to put the honey and butter mixture. I've made this about 3 times and I can still never remember the recipe. It says to put this in first, so I'm just going to give that a mix round. And then just pour it all over. And just give it a really good mix in. Remember that you're going to add the eggs as well. And you know what, you can kind of eyeball it if you think it needs more butter, if you think it needs more honey, if you think it needs more flour. It's too sticky. Okay, now we're just going to give it a really good mix. I've got my oven preheated to 180 degrees and that's almost ready. And then here I've got a lined tin with greaseproof paper, and this is a 22 centimeter by 32 centimeter, depending on how big you like the bars and how thick you like them. You probably want them to be like, I don't know, about 2 centimeters thick, maybe not even that much. This into here. I find the best way to do this, and what I've always been taught, is to wet the back of a spoon and then just push it, move it into the corners. You want it to be tightly packed in there really. Another trick I was shown to do this. It's going to be tightly packed. There we go. I could probably use that as another greasing piece of paper. Okay, so now I'm going to put it in the oven. Place in the oven for 15-20 minutes. When cooked, remove from the oven and place on the cooling rack, and then cool slightly, cut and slice on a chopping board.